Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. I just wanted to talk with you a little bit about your summative assessment in this class, which is writing your philosophy on literacy. I think this probably was the most practical activity that I ever did in my master's program because I used that. I still use it. I revisit it. Make changes to it as we find out more in our field, and it helps you prepare for interviews. So don't forget that, okay? Keep that around. First, what I've learned is it's easiest to start with an outline, okay? You'll see in your reflections entry, in the entries, I pasted that outline in there for you. And what I want you to consider is first it asks about the given an overview. You have those two documents that you've read a lot about, in Reading Next and in the content area reading document, what you've read in the content in the course. But we know that, and this was several years ago, 7,000 kids are dropping out of high school each day. And I tell you, I spent the week, this past week, in some schools in the local area, and I'm not surprised by this. It's sometimes very disheartening. You have some young, energetic teachers out there teaching, and there's so many problems in the home that, I worked with a group of first graders, and they cannot even focus on what they're learning because of the situations they're living in. And so, I don't know what the answer is, but I can tell you that I see why we have the dropout rate as high as it is. The work gets continually more complex, and when students don't, achieve at the early levels in first and second grade, that Matthew effect, continues to grow, and the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and then there's a greater divide. So, lots to think about. I think the best thing to do is in your journal, start, writing down the bullet, what you feel you want to include, because there's a lot of information in those documents. I do want to see you use some of the research that's in there, and document where you got it. Like for instance, this week we're reading about writing next, and I really like this document because, it tells us what we need to do, and it talks about needing writing strategies, and that is so true. If you take my writing course, which is LAE 5345, you learn that there are the 6 traits of writing, and there are strategies, many lessons you can use to teach kids how to come up with ideas and how to organize it, and then move toward word choice and sentence fluency and into voice, and then working with the mechanics of it. But all of these things, the summarizing, what you did with the story pyramid. There's a nonfiction story pyramid that you could find that's online that your social studies and science teachers could use, and you could start very small and have the kids work collaboratively to look at the chapter and to come up with a nonfiction story pyramid. I don't think we're doing enough of writing to learn, and the Writing Next talks about content area writing to learn. We don't have to grade every little bit of writing, but if you're studying something and a student uses a haiku to explain what they're learning about photosynthesis, or there are so many different ways you could do that. If they're reading fiction and they want to do a story pyramid, and you can abbreviate that for the younger kids, or if they're using the somebody wanted but so method. The methods we use in reading, we also need to use in writing, and I think I don't know that teachers feel comfortable teaching writing. I just started a national writing project in Pensacola, and I tell you, those teachers are really tearing it up in the classrooms. It makes me very proud to see them putting those skills to good use. Your reading in the content area pamphlet, you should be up to 33, so you've already talked about, read about what good readers do and the challenges that they face, and it goes through fluency and vocabulary and comprehension. So you have information that you can include in each of those. I'm not looking for, I want you to tell, this is your philosophy, okay? I'm giving you that suggested outline because I think it will help you stay focused. In that content area pamphlet, you'll go on to read about working with diverse learners and motivation and these things that we've already been doing with the interactive notebook. Those things do motivate and engage. I've worked with kids for a long time, and I see they get excited when they have their interactive notebook and they have a choice about how they respond. You didn't have a choice. You had to respond, and it's different with kids when you use a reflections notebook because they're using their talents, they're using Gardner's multiple intelligences and their ways to make meaning of what they're reading. I had students that wrote music, came up with music tracks for what they were reading, and one of them created a symphony and played his violin or his cello, which absolutely blew me away. Some of them like to use art. Some of them write poetry. There's so much they can do to write to show you, what they're learning and demonstrate what they're learning. So my advice is to get started on bulleting this week. That's why I have that entry there. Remember, we have so many entries because we have so many RECs, reading competencies. And this course has about 70 some odd. So we are proving to the state that we are covering that through this Reflections Notebook. Plus, it's a tool for you to use with your kids. And, hopefully some of you had time to really make one that would be a demonstration for your kids. But if you didn't, because I know we're short on time, you can try using a Reflections Notebook even with younger kids and then make some copies for samples for your future teaching. So I hope you guys are doing well. I don't like teaching online, but I have felt like I've gotten to know you a little bit through your discussion groups. I know that was a little bit of a challenge. So, some of you were a little late. Don't worry about it. It was not clear. I will get to grading those, looking at those soon and responding. I do read every one of them. I may not respond to every one of them, but I definitely do respond. I do read all of them. So I hope you have a great day, and let me know if you have any questions, okay? Remember, Alyssa's there too. She's got the bat phone link, so she gets to me right away when there's an issue, and I can answer you quickly, okay? I send you my best. Have a great day.